Why is it still raining? Why are you like this game? Well, at least for the purpose of the prediction, we are alive because the rules are after the helicopter leaves, we manage to wake up without an injury. That's fatal. I don't exactly expect to die. And I know for what we usually do with the helicopters, which normally I will fight all the zombies that it brings, that's kind of a letdown. But, in this particular case, the circumstances were not ideal. Like, and I've certainly choked down a whole lot of vitamins to make a fight work during the night before, but are you gonna do very thick fog? Is that what's happening right now? Nope, we did not get hurt. We took the strategic of it's raining, it's dark, it's awful. We are leaving this show. We're not interested in seeing how it ends, and walking away. But yeah, no, we didn't get hurt. We're okay. But now we turn back, and we get to deal with the fallout of that helicopter, which is going to be a bit of a slog. But that's okay. We have to kill them all, and the way we kill them all is by, you know, finding them. Was a gunshot on your side? Whistlebeak deleting the 1,000 points. And another 1,000 points. Oh no, we had a gunshot thing that happened like right as we, like right when we said we're bailing. Like we had like the machine gun go off, but that was yesterday in game. I mean, I'm more impressed that we're 10 months in and you hear like someone shooting off rounds. You're like, alright, I guess there's someone still alive out there. Or at least was. Because I will say, when you have someone who's just popping off a machine gun at like full auto, that tells you that person is not having a good time. You don't do that for a zombie or two. I mean, I was thinking more, it's when you like, you open the door and you go, oh, there's like 100 zombies here. Well, say hello to my little friend, I guess. Last stand, let's see how much we can tear down. I really shouldn't be going down the road so far as clearing. So far as like, well, I'm in a fight. Because we definitely know it is not safe. Without question, it is not safe. Grab those hunting knives because we're going to get some mileage out of them. Oh, where it says air activity detected, that's yesterday's. So, no panic. Helicopters don't show up back to back. Thankfully, because that would actually be pretty terrifying if I'm being honest. Please, Fog. I would much rather you were not here right now. And I need to check behind me because it's easy for me to just drive right past a horde. Especially in this weather. And then find myself attacked from both sides. So I need to keep watching behind me as I drive up. Okay. And I believe I got the shout out for Inverse, right? I'm pretty sure I did. Just making sure to give shout outs, you know. When someone's kind enough to toss me a raid, I want to make sure I at least point people at their channel. Because Inverse absolutely has fantastic content, and you've not been there before, well worth it. Anytime. Thank you again for the raid. Also on this character, we are up to 21 katanas we have found so far. They're all broken now, because, you know, when you get a katana, you use a katana. And you might be going, but wait, how on earth do you have that many? You cranked the loot, right? No, it's on normal Apocalypse rare loot. No, nothing turned up. We just happen to be sitting here going, well, we've killed 43,000 zombies. How many katanas do you typically find in 10 months of the game? Well, multiply that by about 16 and you should be about where we're at. Because zombies are just closing in. They're doing their zombie thing. And I'll actually give you a look at the skills here in just a minute, because we also run what I refer to as a 0 to hero build, where we start with 0 fitness, 0 strength, 0 combat skills, 0 any skills. Like, our skills tab when we start the game is empty. We don't get any like modifiers, and anything trains faster. Like, we have nothing going for us at the beginning. Yet, you look at where we are at now, and we are getting swole, we're getting fit, we are getting really good at smashing skulls with basically any weapon we can get our hands on. Because these type of runs, you don't get to be picky with your weapons. If it can hit a zombie, that's your deal with. Let's see. Ogosa says, you found 21 katanas? So a normal player would have found 1.3125 katanas by now. Sure. That sounds about right, actually. Yeah, that sounds about right. I would expect to have a katana, maybe 2. Maybe, if I'm real lucky, 3 by now. But yeah, so as you can see, almost all of our combat skills are up to about 7, with a couple stragglers. Our maintenance right on the edge of being 8. We're at Nimble 5. Fitness 6. Strength 7. Both those are coming along well. Got a little ways to go. Our carpentry, cooking, and tailoring are maxed out at 10. Farming is getting pretty close to maxing out. Mechanics and metalworking are at 5 because we've been using it to fix our car. You will notice we do have aiming of 5 and all that. Yeah, no, the alarm there is like, come again? But, that was around month 2. We went on a shotgun rampage, and then we did a couple like short pistol rampages. Counts for about 1,000 of our kills. That's where that's come. We haven't done it since. And then survivalists are fishing and foraging are at 4, and we have yet to trap anything ever, which I should change. And I feel like we deserve a salad. Also, it's time for us to go, because we're no longer in an emergency survive situation. Go away, Fog. Like, I really shouldn't be fighting this, especially not after a helicopter, but go away, Fog. I do really want to make progress towards Rosewood. I can't see anything. You will notice I do leave my truck running. That's so if I have to get away in a hurry, that's an option. It also tracks zombies to it, which sounds like something I don't want, and normally I don't want. But in this one where we're trying to kill them all, it's a good thing. I want the zombies at my truck because then I can find them. I also have the emergency channel playing constantly at absolutely max volume. Same idea. It's loud, it's noisy, it'll draw the zombies out of the trees, so I don't have to go in the trees to go find them, because trees are the worst. I actually technically have 14 points of experience in first aid. My character is impure and full of shame. They weren't zombie hits. I was running from zombies and place planted the dirt, tripping over stuff. type hits. Happened to two completely unrelated occasions. Give me those sweet vitamins. I don't eat them often, but when I do, I eat them like candy. When we are running mostly vanilla, like I have no additional items, cars, like the loot tables haven't been messed with, nothing like that. I do have like 1 or 2 quality of life mods, but that's pretty much it. I shouldn't say 1 or 2. I have a couple of quality of life mods, are pretty much it. I actually had informational mods. They're still technically loaded, but I've hid the information. Was just checking out Royal with Cheese's stream yesterday, and he made the comment that's like, you know, like I wonder how helpful those mods have been for your knife play, like, you know, how much of a difference it would make if you didn't have those. And it's like, you know what, that's fair. And he challenged me to do a round of vanilla, doing like one of the challenges. Like, you know what, I'll do that. But I'm not gonna like interrupt this run and like start another run or uninstall mods, because honestly that usually breaks save files. So I figured for now I'll turn it off and see how I feel. And so far it's not been a big thing. Like we have certainly, like, it helps. I want to be clear about it. It does help having that information, like 100% transparent. I think the only information I found that was very specific, like, hey, that's information I actually put to use, is when you're getting drowsy, like sleepy. The stamina thing I do peek over, but honestly, once you get off the ground, I really don't look at it much. At the moment, I do have minimal display bars like loaded. I'm just not using it, just to kind of see. So you'll actually see, like, I have the little square up there where it should be, but I just have all the bars turned off. And so, like, I still have weapon condition indicator installed, but I've turned off all the HUD elements that I'm able to. So, like, you'll still see the down arrow appear on my head because I can't turn that off without installing the mod. But yeah. But yeah, so I think like the only stat I actually found myself missing, like going, oh, that's information I really wish I had, is when I'm getting sleepy. Because I feel like that's a harder to gauge one. Like stamina, I feel like I actually have a pretty good gauge of when we're going to start getting too exerted or not. But yeah, I do think whenever this run ends, which, assuming we don't die, was going to be a very long time from now, but whenever this run ends, win or lose, there has been a lot of requests for one painful year. I will say one caveat is I will not do one painful year with the perfect dark thing on, because for people viewing the stream, it's awful beyond awful, in my opinion. So I won't be doing that setting, but otherwise I'll be doing the setting. I'm actually expecting it to be easy for me, just because, like, we do way more zombies than it has. Moving around, where did you all come from? Like, we were just here, and there was nobody here. Like, we were literally killing zombies along this route a minute ago. But yeah, so I am planning on doing one painful year as my next run, which has smarter zombies, rare loot, a bunch of other stuff. The one thing I am turning off is I'm not doing the super dark thing for me. Alright, Ruben, you sleep well. Thank you for tuning in. But I won't be doing the perfect night just because for streaming it's bad. Like, I don't mind things being super dark, just for streaming it's pretty awful. I've checked out 1 or 2 streams doing it, it's like, eh. Like, when they have the perfect dark on, it's like, this kind of sucks to watch because it's all dark, kind of hurts your eyes to look at. And yeah, I know you get like the little cone and all that still works, but it's just really rough. Alright, we're exerted, so switching to our hunting knife. And we're no longer exerted because the hunting knife is amazing. I did not mean to eat half that salad, but we're here now, so I feel like Ellen's earned it. She has earned half of a salad that she made herself and has been carrying for like a day. That's mostly made out of stale vegetables. I instinctively seeing that friendship bracelet just from the one we did where we were Quincy Vu friendship killer. I instinctively still wanted to pick up that friendship bracelet and be like, oh, gotta keep this. We had a run, we were doing a cryogenic winter run where we were just picking up any and all friendship bracelets we found and just hoarding them. To the point I think towards the end we had like, wasn't it like 130 or 140 or something of them? We were trying to spell friendship out of friendship bracelets on our driveway in Louisville. Before we ultimately died because of our own hubris, because we got a hold of a katana and just started absolutely wrecking things with it. And then, you know, just got overambitious like you do. Alright, we pushed the zombie. That means there's another zombie aggroed. There it is. Trick with the short blades. If you have multiple zombies aggroed, you will not execute. Instead, you'll push the zombie. So if you ever have a short blade and you're shoving zombies around, it means there's another zombie nearby aggroed on you. You can be behind a fence, all that kind of stuff. Posture check. Yep, I am slouching. And a hydrate. Let me get that, because I actually really could use that hydrate. I ever thought about doing a run with sprinters. I have done a run with sprinters, actually a couple of them on stream. I really don't care for sprinters, not from the difficulty. They're not fun for me. Because ultimately when you do with the run with sprinters, it boils down to your pulls matter, which is fine, like that's fine. But anytime you pull more than like 2 or 3, you immediately have to turn to doing stuff like using fence tech and window tech. And to me, that's not fun. I'm basically just abusing limitations in the zombies' movement to try and give myself an advantage. And it's not a great feeling for me, in all honesty. I just don't enjoy the sprinter gameplay. And for those who do, it's fine, like, cool. One of the things we do say in this channel quite often is, no matter how you're playing the game, if you are having fun, congratulations, you are playing the game correctly. Ditch this extra weight. We don't want to be overburned as much as we can. Yeah, so I'm not a huge fan of sprinters, obviously, from the way I stated that. I gave it a good goes, and we had good laughs, like, don't get me wrong. We actually did one where I don't think Louisville was out yet, so it was West Point we spawned in, where we spawned in West Point on 16x pop with sprinters, all sprinters, just to see what it's like and see how long it can survive. I think we made it like 40 or 50 in-game minutes, which was basically just us opening the door on our house and running as fast as we could, trying to avoid zombies for as long as possible till one of them eventually bumped us over. Because that's basically how it ran. And it ran terribly so far as performance goes. That many zombies running at full speed is not good on the old CPU, I'll say that much. Or I should say, not good on the fairly brand new CPU. Thank you to follow. Catalytic, or let me read this. Thank you to follow. Katak Lizmik. Welcome to the stream. I'm pretty sure I mispronounced your name. Please let me know if I did, and I will try and do better in the future. How did the heli event go? It was it's probably the first heli event we've had since like month 2 that I had to turn cataclysmic. Oh, I see. Very clever. I like it. Yeah, but it was the first helicopter event we had since like month 2 where I saw the situation and went, so I see the zombies here. I'm going that way. Because it was like the helicopter didn't wrap up to like 9:10 p.m. so it was dark outside, and it was storming, so it was really dark outside. And so I was like, okay, like this is a fight we can't win. Like I can fight the numbers, I cannot fight the darkness. Nasal Snack saying marathon stream. Actually, 11 hours is usually my stream length. Like we're basically just 7 minutes over where I usually wrap. That said, I feel like I can go a bit longer. Not sure how much longer, but a bit longer. Yesterday was a long stream. I went till 7 a.m. my time. So that was like 14, 15-hour stream or something like that. But that's because I was not down to wrap up until Riverside was dead. And we went until Riverside was dead. It would be nice to get our foothold in Rosewood today. I'm not sure that's going to happen because I think the helicopter kind of dashed those plans, because it will have drawn a bunch of the zombies from Rosewood over, which is fine for us getting the kill count up, but also means getting ourselves established will be slower, which is fine. Like, this is a marathon run. Everything is going to go slow and involve lots and lots and lots of horrible, awful noises of zombies getting shanked by a knife. And where you see this queasiness, don't worry. We're not zombie infected. We've in fact never known the touch of zombie on this character. It's just we're standing over a big heap of decaying corpses, and you can imagine how that makes our character feel. The 3 times we've gotten close to death on this character is we've had 2 times where zombies basically grabbed us and ripped a part of our clothes as opposed to getting an actual injuring blow on us. So don't forget, tailoring is extremely powerful and is worth leveling if you can stand the tedium that is leveling tailoring. Which, for the record, like that's the kind of defenses we're looking at right now, and I'm not even done yet. I can replace my varsity jacket with the military coat, or an army coat, which I actually have. I just need to tailor it. And we can also get a pair of long johns to add. It's something like 20% scratch resistance to everything but my hands, feet, neck, and head, and 10% to bite resist for everything but again my hands, feet, neck, and head. So we can get that up there. So tailoring is worth it because that's like a 1 in 3 chance. Or it's like a 75% chance that you take a hit and you're just going to walk away with it, you know, A-okay. The downside is you have to wear a lot of layers to do that, and as you get closer to summer, that really doesn't become viable. Hey, maintenance 8. That'll be nice. Getting to the point where we're going to actually max out our maintenance not too long. I say, knowing it's probably going to be literal months in game before we see another point in maintenance. Yeah, because this is where we drug all those zombies for the helicopter. Honestly, we probably mapped up. There's probably like 3-4 more hordes that are left of what the groups that we brought in. Because they'll have split off into groups of between like 12 and 20-ish. Can't quite... I'm pretty sure that's a bread knife in that one. Usually the way I identify the bread knife is I look at the handle for the rivets. Alright, we pushed her. There's the one we aggroed. Basically, as long as I don't have some negative modifier hurting my damage, a hunting knife I will kill every single zombie in 2 to 3 hits. With a hunting knife. And we still have more to go so far as leveling it. We are at 7 going on 8. I believe at 8 I will start getting the occasional one-shot, and then by level 10 most of my hits will be one-shot, with quite a few two-shots mixed in as well. And as you can imagine, running around with hunting knives at level 10 short blade, and really high strength and fitness, I can just walk through hordes and just poke them all down in no time. Yep, and we probably ran more yesterday in game than we've run probably in the last month and a half combined. Just because I had like 2 or 3 good times I had to run during the helicopter event. Like not even big amounts, just like 10, 15, 20 steps. There's just no need for it. I also want to try to avoid pushing these as much as possible. Pushing zombies uses a lot more stamina than the short blades. Like, I can regen stamina with the short blades. Pushing will cost me stamina. Alright, this zombie here in the front in the peach, or whatever that color is, pinkish peach, it's hard to tell, has a hunting knife, so I want it. Alright, we pushed him. We got aggro on something else. Fine, I was slow on looting it. I get it. I'll get the hammer later. Like, I genuinely don't need these weapons anymore, but because early run there's just not enough weapons anywhere, you just get into the habit of, if it's a weapon that isn't terrible, you grab it no matter what. I mean, at the beginning of everyone, you even take the terrible ones too, let's be real. But you just get into that habit of just grabbing weapons anytime you see them. But I think at this point I have four full cabinets with organized skill. Or organized trait, not skill. Organized trait of just the weapons that go on my sides. Most of that being nightsticks. As well as, I think, 2 or 3 cabinets of weapons that go on my back. 2 cabinets of guns and ammo. And almost all of that is strictly stuff dropped by zombies. Very little of that came out of storage. I mean, I guess some of the weapons did come out of the warehouse, but we didn't, like, fully loot it. We took one trip there, grabbed some weapons, and left. Okay. I think I'm more want to clear the zombie. I shouldn't have done that. I should have seen what's at the car. That's fine. We're good. We'll kill them. We'll kill the zombies at the car. Everything will be good. And I do wish, like, I've had a number of people telling me that execute animation I keep doing, that they've been bitten by the zombie they're executing. And the theory is still that that was in a previous version. Like, that was an actual problem in a previous version. And people just still have aversion to it. But I haven't got confirmation one way or the other about that. Like, I had a few people say, oh, I think I read something about that in, like, patch notes. But, you know, with no one else being able to, like, point to them. So I would like to do testing. That didn't last long. I would like to do testing. To see, like, if you're super sleepy and depressed, and, like, anything we can do to, like, slow down the attack animation as much as possible. Like, go out of our way to make it as bad as possible. And then go for the execute. And just see if it actually does get us killed. Like, I want to see if attack speed is relevant, or if there's something else to it. Because I've done it a lot of times and it's never caused me a problem, and I can't imagine. Like, there's got to be something that causes it, or it needs to just not be a thing anymore for me to have gotten away with this long if there was a problem. Alright, there was 2 hunting knives. I'm not sure we'll be able to find them without putting a lot of effort into it. I'm not going to. We're just going to walk over the bodies. Do a quick 2-second scroll through as we walk around. There's a letter opener. Don't care about that. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. Every time you do the knife execute, 100%, you're just like, oh god, I just died. Like, every single time you see it, it 100% feels like you were just getting your shoulder ripped into. But I've never actually been injured when it happens. Or had, like, my garments damaged, or anything else to indicate I would take a hit. The only exception I did have one time, for one stream, like, reliably, we were not getting the execute animation. We were getting the animation like our character was pushing the zombie off, which can happen, you know, when you get attacked, there's just a chance you push the zombie off. That we were getting that time and time again, like, very, like, reliably. And it was freaking me out. I reloaded the game, and then it wasn't happening anymore. Like, everything was going fine. And I don't know why it was, and it had me on edge. And it was this run, too, and I was like, and you know, we're probably 4 months in at that point, 5 months in. And so I was like, okay, I partly want to keep experimenting, see if this actually will get in trouble, see if we can't identify what gets you in trouble with this. Because it doesn't seem to be, like, I don't think it's supposed to be a thing, because it looks like a scripted animation to me. Alright, probably just detect the one that's already down and still up. Like, to me it looks like a scripted animation, just because the timing is always the same from what I've seen, even when, like, I'm sleepy in that. Or depressed or anything like that. Oh, and for those wondering, you will not do the execution animation if you have multiple aggro, with some very specific exceptions. Like, if I don't know I'm aggro kind of thing. Like, if I have a tree between me and the zombie I've aggroed, that kind of stuff, where you don't see it coming. There are a few cases like that, but generally speaking, if you have aggro on more than one zombie, you'll never execute with a knife. The spear, on the other hand, it will absolutely execute. Alright. Okay, eat our salad. We're still just queasy, not nauseous yet. So I'll kill this group. We are probably getting pretty close to drowsy, would be my guess. Like, I expect to hit drowsy while we're fighting this pack. Yep, so I think it is time we back out because we're probably going to be right about the time we hit drowsy. I feel like we basically wiped out the zombies that helicopter brought out because we probably killed a good 8-9 hordes there. Alright, these piles are getting a little bit too much. We're bouncing around a lot. Yep, and there we are. We're at nauseous. So you just notice we've gone fairly heavy loads, so our strength has been reduced, which means we do less damage. So it's a good time to leave. And we have to slow down. Nauseous is fine. Basically, you go queasy, not a big deal. Nauseous, minor penalties, not a big deal. Sick, more significant penalties, still not the biggest deal in the world. And then fever. Fever kills you. Like, you don't die guaranteed, but you'll watch your health just start draining unless you get your back out of fever real fast. When you die from zombie plague, it's fever that kills you. When you eat stuff that gives you food poisoning, quite often it's fever that kills you. But that's just being from around too many zombies, or zombie corpses. Which is a very constant problem in this run, for the record, is being around too many zombie corpses. You couldn't imagine why, though. And we are driving slow to try to avoid rolling over our vehicle on zombie corpses. But yeah, so today's been a pretty good day so far as progress. Like it doesn't feel like we got very far because we left Ekron and we've basically been pushing to try and get in Rosewood the whole time. But on the other hand, we have killed a number of thousands of zombies today, so that's been one thing. As far as distance, we've gone right up to Rosewood's door, and usually that's kind of how these runs go. Is when you go, all right, well I'm getting Riverside, and you'll push and you'll push and you'll push, and you get kind of like right to the entrance of the town. And you'll kind of be met with resistance right around there that takes a while to push through. And that's because a bunch of the zombies spilling out of the town trying to fill the area that you're clearing. But eventually we'll get to the point where you stop seeing the horde showing up to stop you, and you just get like little stragglers in that, and that's just that point. You can just kind of push right into the town, get yourself a foothold in one of the businesses or one of the houses on the edge of town, and then you start pushing it a little farther every day. And then usually after like clear out most of the main population of the zombies, like 10,000 zombies on the main drag, then most of the rest of the town just doesn't have much of a zombie presence. Because again, what's happening is you're removing all the zombies from an area, and between migration and redistribution, the game's going, oh, there's no zombies here. Hey, all these places with lots of zombies, if you could bring them over to this open spot here, that'd be great. And you happen to be standing there with a hunting knife just stabbing them as they show up. Because that's just what you do. I do remember when we started this run that we were at something like 500 or 600 kills, and bare hands was considered our favorite weapon because of how desperate our weapon situation was. It wasn't until like 700 that we finally got our hands on like a crowbar or a hunting knife or something that finally passed bare hands. That ramped us up a little bit. El Garso says, how do you fight a swarm with bare hands? 2 or 3 is pretty doable. Oh, no, I was fighting individuals mostly. It was actually on this road up here. There should be a stool in the middle of the road. But it is very carefully pulling just 1, 2, maybe 3 with your bare hands, killing them that way. Or doing stuff like running, trying to like get one to separate off from the others, shove them over real fast, step on them, kill them before the friends can catch up, kind of thing. But yeah, no, it was mostly separating them out into groups of like 2 and 3. A few exceptions where you'd just spot the one that's separate. You'd like, even if you have like aggro and tech, if there's one that was just really separated from the others, you'd run over there, shove them real fast, step on them, and move on. Or sometimes you'd have one that would jump over a fence after you'd smash them while the others pile over the fence a little bit farther up the way. Whatever you had to do to separate them out. There's our stool that we used for rest and relaxation between our fight to Ekron. Memories, where we had to fight, I think it was like 9,000 zombies before we finally got our foothold in Ekron from the ice cream parlor just down the road there. Yeah, so this is Ekron, the first city we cleared. And we'll still occasionally have a zombie or 2 wander around in here, at which point we just kill them, and then it's cleared again. That'll happen pretty much forever until we stop seeing zombies entirely because of how many we killed. Just the way migrations and all that work. Like, there's 2 there that strolled into downtown like they thought it was their place to live, and it's like, alright, well, sorry. Wrong neighborhood, buddy. Right before we top off the gas, like always, we do our lap around the pump, make sure we don't see any zombies closing in because we made noise, and then we fill it up. Because you are very vulnerable at the pumps. Just, as you can see, I can't see anything that isn't this angle. But when you do a quick look around, the chance of zombie being able to run up and get you, not high. We have our wonderful flamboyance growing up here. And we've got the honor guard showing up. I want to top off that fuel later. No interest in putting up a wall of safety? I do intend on putting up like an actual wall around the area at some point. I just haven't done it yet. Alright, that's farming 9. One more point in farming and then we're max farmer. But yeah, like the way I've been treating like any type of improvements, whether it's base improvements, skill improvements that aren't just strictly combat, is anytime the weather's really crap and I just don't want to go out and deal with it, then instead of doing that, what we'll do instead is just kind of hold back and deal with base stuff. Excellent, we actually did have room for all of it. I didn't think we would. Oh yeah, and we have built this whole location. None of this was here to begin with. So we got our big storage room. At some point I intend on putting a TV in here, but I haven't done it yet. We have, I think it's 7 or 9. I think 9 rain barrels on the roof, and then 7 of those are hooked up to sinks. So, like, we have enough water. Even if it doesn't rain once during the entire winter, it's fine. We have the water. Have you tried making a noisemaker? Nope. I generally find like the noisemakers and that in the game to be not particularly impressive from what I've seen. Not said I haven't used them and I'm meaning to pull them out. But like even like the watches don't seem to do anything with the zombies on a real level. Like horns and that seem to work really well, but not a whole lot else. That said, I probably haven't given them a fair shake anyways. How is the weather? I want to get here in time to see what the weather forecast is. I mostly want to see if it's going to rain. And I'm hoping it will rain. Because that way I don't have to water these plants. It's not going to rain. Is it going to rain tomorrow? Can it be lazy for one day? I can be lazy for one day if you're rain tomorrow. Fine. I'll water the plants. I understand. Yeah, my general noisemaker is my car, or my guns, or my voice. It's actually one of the other things, like, you know, one of the common questions you get answered is like, oh, is there anything you can do with electrical beyond 3? I don't see anything. It's like, well, there are devices you can make. But, like, for example, one of the devices you can make is a motion sensor that has, like, a firebomb or whatever it is on it. And I'm like, right, okay, so you have a motion sensor that has a firebomb on it. Now, the thing to remember is it's got a firebomb on it. So, like, using it for defense, probably not a strategy, because zombie crosses the motion sensor, and then your house is on fire. So, you know. That's the thing. I need to put wood slats down there too, because I'm not going to use these two for farming. I actually have way more farmland than I need for just you know, one person surviving here. Alright, we've got all that water, we've got all the situated, we've got everything here. We've got our water we've drank, we've topped off our water bottle. We've got our katana bed with its 21 katanas on it. And of course, a spiffo doll and a regular doll, you know. You got your pointy sticks and you gotta have, you know, a little bit of floof. So we're good to sleep. And our 4 doctorates. 2 in surgery and 2 just general doctoring.